Hello, survivors. This signal has crossed over from Earth Variant 23, where the infection rewrote everything humanity thought it knew about death. What you'll hear are authentic voices. Medics, inmates, parents, children, telling the truth of their final days. Thank you for being here, for bearing witness. To help keep this archive alive, subscribe to this channel, and please comment the city you're listening from below. Every name, every location is proof that someone still remembers them. This signal is called "The Day My Prison Transport Crashed During the Zombie Outbreak." The shackles had worn grooves into my wrists after 18 months. I'd stopped feeling them most days, the way you stop noticing a scar after enough time passes. But today, they felt heavier, biting into skin as the transport bus lurched over another pothole on Highway 47. Outside the reinforced windows, October cornfields blurred past in dying gold, and I counted the mile markers the way I used to count compressions during CPR. Automatic, rhythmic. A way to keep my mind from the place it always went when I had nothing to do but sit. The bus held 7 of us. I knew their faces, but not their stories. Prison taught you to keep that distance. Up front, CO Hendricks drove with his usual mechanical precision, one hand on the wheel, the other resting near his radio. Beside him, CO Vance scrolled through her phone, frowning at whatever she saw there. Behind me, someone coughed, wet and rattling. The sound had been getting worse for the last hour. My name is Cade Mercer, 34 years old, former firefighter-paramedic with Denver Fire Station 19, convicted of criminally negligent homicide after a call went wrong. 20 years, eligible for parole in 18 if I kept my head down and my mouth shut. The math was simple. The guilt was not. The radio crackled. Vance turned up the volume. Reports of violent disturbances in Denver metro area, multiple casualties. Emergency services are overwhelmed. Residents are advised to... Static consumed the rest. Vance glanced at Hendricks. That's the third one in an hour. Riots, Hendricks said. His voice carried the flat certainty of someone who'd decided not to worry about things beyond his control. Election year bullshit. In October? Vance's thumb moved across her phone screen, faster now. My sister's in Aurora. She's not answering. The inmate across from me, a kid named Danny Ortiz, maybe 22, in for possession with intent, leaned forward as far as his chains allowed. My mom's in Denver. What's happening? Sit back, Hendricks said without turning around. Danny's leg bounced against the floor, a frantic percussion. I'd seen that look before, in waiting rooms outside burn units, in the eyes of people who knew something was wrong but couldn't name it yet. The fear that precedes knowledge. I'd worn that look myself once. The night of the Hartley fire. The memory tried to surface. Smoke, screaming, the weight of a child in my arms. But I shoved it down. 18 months of practice had made me good at that. Not good enough, but better. Another pothole. The chains rattled in unison, a sound like wind chimes made of bones. Jesus Christ, Hendricks, someone muttered from the back. That was Ruiz, a lifer with tattooed knuckles and a reputation for keeping to himself. He'd been the one coughing. You trying to give us whiplash? Roads shit out here, Hendricks replied. Budget cuts. Vance's phone buzzed. She answered immediately. Sarah? Sarah, where are you? Her voice climbed an octave. What do you mean they're biting people? Who's biting? She pulled the phone away from her ear, staring at the screen. She hung up. Call her back, Hendricks said. I'm trying. It's not... Vance's fingers jabbed at the screen. It's not going through. The radio erupted again, louder this time. A different voice, younger, barely controlled. Do not approach anyone exhibiting symptoms. Repeat, do not approach. The pathogen is transmitted through bodily fluids, primarily saliva. Victims display extreme aggression and more static than a high-pitched tone that made my teeth ache. Hendricks reached for the radio dial, but Vance grabbed his wrist. Wait. Martial law declared in Denver, Colorado Springs, and Fort Collins. All residents must shelter in place. Emergency services are no longer responding to... The signal died completely. The bus filled with a silence that felt like pressure building behind a closed door. Pathogen? Danny's voice cracked. What the fuck is a pathogen? Disease, I said quietly. Infectious disease. Everyone looked at me. I'd barely spoken in 3 days. You a doctor? That was Marcus Webb, mid-40s, in for embezzlement. He sat near the front, close enough to hear the guards' conversations. Paramedic. Was. Ruiz echoed from the back and coughed again. The sound was worse now, thick and gurgling. That's the important word, ain't it? I didn't answer. My eyes had found Vance's reflection in the rearview mirror. She was crying silently, phone pressed to her chest. Hendricks drove faster. The cornfields gave way to scattered houses, then a gas station with its lights off, then a stretch of empty road that should have had traffic, should have had something. The absence felt wrong, the way a missing heartbeat feels wrong when you're holding someone's wrist and counting. Where is everyone? Danny whispered. A good question. It was 2:47 p.m. on a Thursday. Highway 47 connected 3 towns and usually carried a steady stream of trucks and commuters. Now it stretched ahead of us like a ribbon through a dead world. Vance's radio, the one clipped to her belt, crackled. A voice I didn't recognize, male, shouting over background noise that might have been screams or sirens or both. All units, do not return to base. Repeat, do not return to base. The facility is compromised. Seek alternate... Gunshots. 3 of them, close enough to distort the speaker. Then nothing. Hendricks' knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. Compromised, Marcus said. What does that mean, compromised? No one answered because we all knew. In prison, compromised meant riot, meant lockdown, meant people died in their cells while guards sealed the doors and waited for backup. But this wasn't a riot. We should turn around, Vance said. Her voice had gone hollow. We should... Something moved in the road ahead. Hendricks saw it the same moment I did. A figure stumbling from the shoulder into the center lane, moving with the jerky wrongness of a puppet with tangled strings. Distance made it small, but we were closing fast. 60 miles per hour, 50 yards, 40. Hendricks, Vance said. I see it. 30 yards. The figure resolved into a man, or what had been a man. Even through the windshield, I could see the dark stains covering his shirt, the way his head lolled at an angle that suggested a broken neck. He shouldn't have been walking, shouldn't have been standing. 20 yards. Hendricks! He was walking toward us, not away, toward. 10 yards. Hendricks yanked the wheel left. The bus lurched, tires screaming, and for a moment I thought we'd make it. Thought we'd swerve past and keep going and maybe find somewhere safe. Somewhere with answers, somewhere that made sense. Then the rear tire caught the shoulder. Gravel and grass, no traction. The world tilted. I had time to think. This is how it happens. This is how everything changes. Then the bus rolled. Metal shrieked. Glass exploded. My body slammed against the chains, against the seat, against something hard that might have been another person, or the ceiling, or the floor. Directions lost meaning as we tumbled. Someone screamed. The sound cut off abruptly, replaced by the grinding roar of the bus sliding on its side, sparks visible through the windows, the smell of burning rubber and hot metal filling my nose. We stopped. For several seconds, the only sound was the tick of cooling engine parts and the soft patter of something dripping. My ears rang. My left shoulder felt wrong, dislocated or broken, pain radiating down my arm in waves that made my vision blur. I was lying on what had been the right wall of the bus, now the floor, tangled in chains and limbs. "Sound off?" I said. My voice came out hoarse. Everyone sound off. Groaning. Movement. Someone sobbing. "I'm good," Marcus said. He was above me, or beside me. Geometry was still confused. Blood running from a cut on his forehead. "I think I'm good." Ruiz, coughing. "Alive." "Danny?" "My arm!" the kid whimpered. "Oh, fuck. My arm!" I counted heads. 7 inmates. We were all still here, still breathing. The guards. "Hendricks!" Vance's voice shrill with panic. "Hendricks, answer me!" I twisted, chains biting into my wrists, and looked toward the front of the bus. The impact had compressed the driver's compartment like a crushed can. Hendricks was still in his seat, but his head was bent at an angle that told me everything I needed to know. I'd seen that angle before. Cervical fracture, instantaneous. Vance was pinned beneath the dashboard, legs trapped, one arm free and reaching for Hendricks, even though he was beyond reaching. Blood soaked her uniform pants. "Vance," I said. "Vance, look at me." Her head turned. Her eyes were too wide, pupils blown with shock. "I need you to stay calm. Can you feel your legs?" She looked down. "I don't know. I can't. Hendricks isn't moving." "I know. Focus on me. Can you reach your keys?" "Keys." She blinked, processing slowly. Shock did that. Narrowed the world to a single point of pain or fear. "Why do you—" A sound interrupted her. A hollow, rhythmic pounding. Metal on metal. Everyone froze. The sound came from outside, from the rear emergency exit. Something was hitting the door. Not randomly, not the wind, deliberately. "What is that?" Danny whispered. I knew what it was. We all knew. We'd seen the figure in the road, seen the way it moved, heard the radio warnings about aggression and biting and not approaching. But knowing and accepting are different things, and the human mind resists accepting the impossible until the impossible is eating your face. The pounding continued. Steady, patient, wrong. "The keys," I said again, louder. "Vance, I need you to get the keys and unlock these chains." "I can't." She was crying now, tears cutting tracks through the dust on her face. "I can't move. my legs. Your arm is free. The keys are on your belt. Reach down and get them. We're not supposed to. Regulations say. Regulations don't matter anymore. I kept my voice level, the way I used to when talking to people in shock. People who just watched their house burn down or their child stop breathing. Calm, authoritative. The voice that said, I know what I'm doing, trust me. Whatever's outside is going to get through that door eventually. When it does, we need to be able to move. Get the keys. The pounding grew louder, faster. Vance's hand trembled as she reached for her belt. Her fingers fumbled with the clip, slipped, tried again. The keys came free with a jingle that sounded obscenely cheerful. Throw them here. She did. They landed 3 feet away, just out of reach. Fuck, Marcus said. I stretched, chains pulling taut, shoulders screaming. My fingers brushed the key ring. Not enough. I shifted my weight, felt something in my shoulder tear, and lunged. The keys scraped against my fingertips. I hooked one finger through the ring and dragged them close. Thank Christ, Ruiz muttered. My hands shook as I sorted through the keys. There were a dozen of them, all identical silver, no labels, prison security. I picked one at random and jammed it into the lock on my wrist shackles. Wrong key. The pounding stopped. The silence was worse. Why'd it stop? Danny asked. Maybe it left, Marcus said, but his voice carried no conviction. I tried another key. Wrong. Another. Wrong. My fingers felt thick and clumsy, adrenaline making me stupid. 4th key. The lock clicked open. My hands were free. I unlocked my ankle chains and stood, or tried to. The bus's new orientation made standing difficult. Everything tilted and wrong. I braced myself against a seat and reached for Marcus. Give me your hands. You're letting us out? His eyes searched my face. Why? Because we're going to die in here otherwise. That was the truth. The simple, unavoidable truth. Whatever was outside, infected, the radio had called them. They'd get through eventually. The emergency exit door was designed to open from inside, but it was also designed to be opened by someone standing upright with leverage. Chained prisoners lying on their sides had no leverage. I unlocked Marcus's shackles, then Ruiz's, then Danny's, who whimpered when I moved his arm. Compound fracture, bone visible through skin already swelling. Bad, very bad. What about us? A voice from the back. I'd almost forgotten about the other 3 inmates. They were clustered together, watching with the wary calculation of people who'd learned not to trust kindness. One of them was Garrett Chen, in for armed robbery. Smart, dangerous. The kind of dangerous that came from desperation rather than cruelty. Next to him was a woman named Lisa Ortiz, no relation to Danny despite the shared name. Assault with a deadly weapon. She'd put her ex-husband in the ICU with a tire iron. The third was someone I didn't know, a transfer from another facility. Young, maybe 19, with the kind of face that looked like it had never smiled. His paperwork said his name was Jesse Coombs. It didn't say what he'd done, which usually meant it was bad enough that other inmates didn't ask. I'm unlocking everyone, I said. Bad idea, Ruiz said. He'd pulled himself upright, one hand pressed to his ribs. You don't know what they did. I know what I did. Doesn't make me less human. Doesn't make you more either. I unlocked Garrett's chains anyway, then Lisa's, then Jesse's. The pounding resumed. Louder now, Multiple impacts, multiple hands, more than one of them outside. "We need to move," I said. "Now." "Move where?" Marcus gestured at the crumpled bus. "We're in the middle of nowhere. No phone signal, no help coming." "Away from here. That's step one." "What about her?" Danny nodded toward Vance, still pinned in the front. I'd been trying not to think about Vance, trying not to calculate the time it would take to free her, the tools we'd need, the noise we'd make. Trying not to remember the Hartley fire, the choice I'd made, the child I'd carried out while her brother burned. "We get her out," I said. "How?" Garrett's voice was flat. "You got a hydraulic jack in your pocket?" "We improvise." "She's trapped under half a dashboard. We don't have time to..." The rear emergency exit buckled inward. Just slightly. Just enough to show that the metal was giving way. "Help me!" Vance screamed. "Please, don't leave me!" I moved toward the front of the bus, climbing over seats, stepping on broken glass. Up close, the damage was worse than I'd thought. The dashboard had folded down and forward, pinning both of Vance's legs from mid-thigh down. Her left femur was definitely broken. I could see the unnatural angle. Blood pooled beneath her. Too much blood, which meant arterial damage. Even if we freed her, even if we had a hospital 5 minutes away, her chances were poor. We didn't have a hospital. We had a crashed bus and something trying to break inside. "Cade." She grabbed my shirt with her free hand. "Cade, I have a daughter. She's 7. Her name is Emma. Please." I'd heard those words before. Different names, same desperation. "Please save them. Please don't let them die. Please make this not be happening." "I'm going to try," I said. Behind me, the others were arguing in harsh whispers. I caught fragments. Waste of time. Already dead. Save ourselves. I wedged my hands under the dashboard and pulled. It didn't move. I braced my feet and pulled harder. Something in my shoulder tore further, pain white hot, and the dashboard shifted maybe an inch. Not enough. "Someone help me," I said. No one moved. "Now!" Marcus came forward, then Ruiz reluctantly. Together we pulled, 3 sets of hands, all our strength focused on bending metal that had been designed not to bend. The dashboard groaned, shifted, rose 6 inches. "Can you pull your legs out?" I asked Vance. She tried, screamed. No, it's... something's caught." "Keep pulling," I told the others. "Don't stop." We pulled. The metal rose another few inches. Vance writhed, trying to free herself, and her screaming took on a quality that made my stomach turn because I knew that sound. That was the sound of someone whose body was tearing. The emergency exit buckled again. This time the hinges shrieked. "It's coming through!" Danny yelled. "Almost there," I said, though I didn't know if that was true. Just a little more. The dashboard slipped. Our grips failed simultaneously, and the metal slammed back down. Vance's scream cut off into a wet gurgle. I looked at her face. Her eyes had rolled back. Shock, probably. Or worse. "Vance?" I touched her neck, feeling for a pulse. It was there, thready and fast. "Stay with me." "We're out of time," Garrett said. He was at the emergency exit now, watching the door bend inward with each impact. "That door's going to fail in the next minute." "Then we have a minute." "To do what? She's dying. You know it. I know it. Stop pretending you can fix this." He was right. The rational part of my brain, the part that had been trained to triage, to calculate survival odds, to make hard choices in seconds, knew he was right. Vance had minutes at best, maybe less. Trying to save her would kill us all. But the other part of my brain, the part that still woke up screaming about the Hartley fire, the part that saw a 7-year-old girl named Emma who would grow up without a mother, that part couldn't accept it. "One more try," I said. "Fuck that." Garrett moved to the side emergency window, one of the few that hadn't shattered, and kicked it. The glass cracked. He kicked again. It broke outward, leaving a jagged opening barely large enough for a person. "I'm gone," he said. "Anyone with a brain should come with me." Lisa moved toward the window. So did Jesse, silent as always. "Wait," I said. "We should stick together." "Why?" Lisa's laugh was bitter. "So we can all die together?" "No thanks." She climbed through the window, glass tearing her orange jumpsuit. Jesse followed. Garrett paused, looking back at me. "You were a paramedic, right? So you know about triage. You know sometimes you have to let people die to save others." He gestured at Vance. "She's black tag. Accept it." Then he was gone, disappearing through the window into the October afternoon. The emergency exit gave way with a shriek of tortured metal. They came through in a stumbling rush. 3 of them. 4. I lost count because my brain refused to process what I was seeing. They had been people once. You could tell by the clothes, by the general shape. But something had gone wrong with them at a fundamental level. Something that turned human beings into moving violations of natural law. Their skin was gray-white, mottled with lividity like corpses. Their eyes were clouded, pupils blown so wide the irises had nearly disappeared. Their mouths hung open, and I could see that their teeth were broken, shattered from biting things. Teeth weren't meant to bite. Blood and worse covered their faces, their hands, their clothes. They moved wrong, joints bending at angles that suggested broken bones, heads lolling, feet dragging, but they moved fast, faster than they should have been able to, driven by something that didn't care about pain or damage or the physical limitations of a human body. The first one grabbed Danny. The kid screamed, high and piercing, as gray hands closed on his broken arm. The infected, because that's what they were, what they had to be, pulled Danny close and bit down on his shoulder. I heard the wet crunch of teeth meeting flesh, heard Danny's scream rise to a pitch that didn't sound human. Ruiz swung a piece of broken seat frame, catching the infected in the head. It staggered, but didn't fall, didn't even seem to notice. It kept biting, kept tearing, and Danny's blood sprayed across the interior of the bus in arterial spurts. "Go!" Marcus shoved me toward the broken window. "Go, go, go!" I went. Not because I wanted to, because my body made the choice before my brain could object. Survival instinct overriding everything else. I dove through the window, felt glass tear my jumpsuit and the skin beneath, hit the ground outside and rolled. Grass, gravel, the smell of dirt and diesel fuel. I scrambled to my feet, shoulders screaming, and looked back at the bus. Marcus came through the window, then Ruiz moving slower, still coughing. Behind them, inside the bus, Danny's screaming had stopped. Vance was screaming now, high and desperate, and I could see shapes moving in the darkness of the overturned vehicle. Could see Dash. I looked away. "Run," Ruiz said. Blood flecked his lips. "Fucking run." We ran. The cornfield swallowed us. Dead stalks rattled in the wind, dry leaves cutting at exposed skin as we pushed through rows that seemed to go on forever. Behind us, the screaming from the bus had stopped. That should have been a relief. It wasn't. I ran until my lungs burned, until my legs threatened to give out, until the pain in my shoulder became a white-hot spike that made my vision blur. Then I ran further, because stopping meant thinking, and thinking meant seeing Danny's face as the infected tore into him, meant hearing Vance beg for her daughter, meant accepting that I'd failed again. Always failing. Always too slow, too weak, too human. Marcus grabbed my arm, pulling me to a stop. Wait, I can't. We collapsed in a small clearing where the corn had been flattened by weather or animals. The three of us gasping, bleeding, alive. For now. "What the fuck?" Marcus said between breaths. "What the fuck was that?" "Infected," I said. "The radio said..." "I know what the radio said, but those things, they were dead. They had to be dead. You can't move like that if you're alive." "They were moving. That doesn't..." He pressed his hands to his face. "This isn't real. This can't be real." Ruiz coughed, a wet rattling sound that ended with him spitting blood into the dirt. "Real enough. Question is, what do we do now?" Good question. We were in the middle of nowhere, wearing prison jumpsuits that marked us as targets for any law enforcement that might still be functioning. We had no weapons, no supplies, no plan. The sun was already sinking toward the horizon. Maybe 2 hours of daylight left. After that, darkness. "We need shelter," I said. "Somewhere defensible. Somewhere we can see them coming." "Them," Marcus repeated. "How many do you think there are?" "I don't know. The radio said Denver was..." I stopped. Denver was gone. That's what the silence meant, what the empty highway meant. A city of 3 million people gone. A lot. There are a lot of them. Jesus Christ. "We passed a farmhouse about a mile back," Ruiz said. "Before the crash. Saw it from the window." "Could be occupied," Marcus said. "Could be empty." "Could be full of those things. Only one way to find out." We looked at each other. 3 men who'd been prisoners an hour ago, who'd been planning their appeals and counting days and thinking about the future in terms of parole hearings and good behavior. That future was gone. This was the future now. Blood and corn and the fading light of a world that had ended while we were in chains. "The farmhouse," I said. We checked the farmhouse. We moved through the corn more carefully now, trying to stay quiet, trying to listen for sounds of pursuit. I heard wind, rustling stalks, the distant cry of a crow. Nothing human, nothing inhuman. The corn ended at a barbed wire fence. Beyond it, a dirt road. Beyond that, a white farmhouse with peeling paint and a sagging porch. A barn stood behind it, doors open, darkness inside. No lights, no movement, no signs of life. "Looks abandoned," Marcus whispered. "Looks like a trap," Ruiz countered. "Everything looks like a trap now." We climbed the fence, awkward with injuries, chains gone but bodies still moving like they were restrained, and approached the house. The front door was closed. I tried the handle. Locked. "Window?" Marcus suggested. "Too much noise." Back door, then. We circled the house, staying low, watching the windows for movement. The back door was unlocked. That should have been a warning. Should have told us something was wrong. But we were desperate and stupid and running out of daylight, so we went inside anyway. The kitchen smelled like rot. Not the rot of infected flesh, but the ordinary rot of food left too long, of milk gone sour and meat turned green. Flies buzzed in the sink. Dishes sat unwashed on the counter, crusted with mold. "Hello?" I called softly. "Anyone here?" Silence. We moved through the house room by room. Living room, furniture covered in dust, TV dark, family photos on the mantle showing smiling people who were probably dead now. Bathroom, empty. Bedroom, empty. Bed unmade. Closet door, open. Second bedroom, not empty. The smell hit me first. Copper and shit and something sweet rotten that made my stomach heave. Then I saw the bed, saw what was on it, saw... "Don't look," I said. But Marcus had already looked, was already turning away, was already vomiting into the hallway. There were two of them, had been two of them. A woman and a child, maybe 5 years old. They'd been dead for days, long enough for decomposition to start, long enough for the flies to lay eggs. The woman had a gun in her hand, one bullet hole in the child's head, one in her own. Murder-suicide. She'd killed her daughter and then herself, rather than face whatever was happening outside. I closed the door. "We can't stay here," Marcus said. He was pale, shaking. "We can't. We have to." Ruiz had moved to the living room window, was peering through the curtains. "It's almost dark. We go out there in the dark. We're dead. We stay here. We're sleeping in a house with corpses. I've slept in worse places." "When?" "Prison." That shut Marcus up. I checked the kitchen cabinets, canned goods mostly, beans, soup, vegetables, enough for a few days if we rationed. The water still ran when I turned on the tap. Brown at first, then clear. The power was out, but that was expected. The whole grid had probably collapsed. "We stay tonight," I said. "Get some rest, figure out a plan in the morning." "Plan for what?" Marcus asked. "Where are we even going?" "Away from here, away from the cities, somewhere remote." "Everywhere is remote now." He was right. The world had become nothing but remote places, islands of the living in an ocean of the dead. If there were other survivors, we had no way to find them. No phones, no internet, no communication beyond shouting distance. We were alone. Ruiz coughed again, harder this time, doubling over. When he straightened, blood stained his lips. "You okay?" I asked. "Fine." "You're not fine. You're coughing blood. Probably broke a rib in the crash, punctured lung. I'll be fine." He wouldn't be fine. Punctured lung without medical care meant pneumothorax, meant collapsed lung, meant drowning in your own blood. But I didn't say that. What was the point? We had no medical supplies, no way to treat him, no hospital to take him to. We were all dying. Some of us were just dying faster. Night fell like a curtain dropping. One moment there was light. The next there was darkness so complete it felt solid. We sat in the living room without candles, without flashlights, because light would draw attention. We sat in silence because sound would draw attention. We sat and listened to the night. Crickets, wind, the creak of old wood settling. And underneath it all, distant but growing closer, a sound like moaning, like dozens of voices moaning in unison, a chorus of the dead singing their hunger. "They're coming," Marcus whispered. "They don't know we're here," I said. "How do you know?" "I don't." The moaning grew louder, closer. I moved to the window and risked a glance through the curtains. The road was full of them. They moved in a loose group, maybe 30 or 40, stumbling down the dirt road in the direction we'd come from. Following the highway, following the scent of the crash, maybe, or just wandering aimlessly. In the moonlight, they looked like shadows, like holes in the world shaped like people. One of them stopped, turned its head toward the house. I froze, not breathing, not moving, every muscle locked. It stood there for a long moment, swaying slightly. Then it turned back to the road and kept walking. The group passed. The moaning faded. After 10 minutes, I couldn't hear them anymore. "They're gone," I said. "For now," Ruiz said. "They'll be back, or others will come. This house is too close to the road. So we leave in the morning. And go where? I don't know, somewhere safer." Nowhere is safe. He was right again. Ruiz was right about everything, and I hated him for it. We took turns keeping watch, 2-hour shifts, though none of us really slept. I sat in the darkness and thought about Vance, about Danny, about the woman and child in the bedroom upstairs, about Emma, who would never see her mother again, about all the children who would never see their parents again, all the parents who would never see their children, about the Hartley fire, about the choice I'd made, about the boy I'd left behind. His name was Michael. He was 6 years old. His sister was 4. The fire had trapped them in an upstairs bedroom, and I'd gone in to get them out, and I'd found them huddled in a closet, crying, terrified. I'd grabbed the girl because she was closer, because she was smaller, because some instinct told me to take her first. I'd told Michael I'd come back for him. I'd meant it. I'd fully intended to go back in, to save him, to carry him out the way I'd carried his sister. But the fire had spread faster than predicted, and the floor had collapsed. And by the time the other crews got the flames under control, Michael was dead. Smoke inhalation, the autopsy said. He'd probably been unconscious before the flames reached him. Probably didn't suffer. Probably, the investigation found that I'd violated protocol by entering without backup. Found that I'd made a judgment call that resulted in a child's death. Found that while my intentions were good, my actions were criminally negligent. 20 years. I'd accepted the sentence because part of me believed I deserved it. Believed that if I'd been faster, smarter, better, I could have saved them both. Believed that Michael's death was my fault. Now, sitting in a dead woman's house while the world ended outside, I wondered if I'd learned anything. If I was any better at making impossible choices. If I'd saved the right people this time. Probably not. Dawn came gray and cold. We ate cold beans from a can and drank water that tasted like rust. Ruiz's coughing had gotten worse overnight. Constant now, wet and rattling, blood flecking his lips with every breath. He tried to hide it, but I'd seen enough dying people to recognize the signs. "We need to talk about your lung," I said. "Nothing to talk about. You need medical attention." "Where am I going to get that? The hospital?" He laughed, which turned into another coughing fit. "Face it, Mercer. I'm fucked. Question is whether I slow you down enough to get you killed, too. We're not leaving you. Why not? You left that guard. You left that kid. That was different. How? I didn't have an answer. Marcus was at the window watching the road. We've got movement. 3 of them, maybe 4, coming from the east. I joined him. 4 infected, moving with that characteristic stumbling gait, following the road. They passed the house without stopping, without even looking at it. They're migrating, I said. Following some kind of pattern. To where? I don't know. Maybe nowhere. Maybe they just walk until they find food. We're food. Only if they find us. We gathered what supplies we could. Canned food, bottled water, a kitchen knife, a hammer from the garage. Not much. Not enough. But more than we'd had. Which way? Marcus asked when we were ready to leave. Away from the road, I said. Into the country. Find somewhere isolated. Everything's isolated now. More isolated? We left through the back door, moving quickly across the yard to the barn. Inside, we found a tractor with no keys, some rusted tools, and a pickup truck that looked like it hadn't run in years. I checked anyway. No keys. Dead battery. Worth a try? Ruiz said. We moved into the fields beyond the barn, heading west, away from the highway. The land rolled in gentle hills, corn giving way to wheat, giving way to empty pastures where cattle should have been grazing. We saw no cattle, no animals at all except crows, circling overhead in numbers that seemed wrong. Around noon, we crested a hill and saw smoke in the distance. A lot of smoke, black and oily, rising from what might have been a town. That's Millbrook, Ruiz said. Population maybe 2,000. Was, Marcus said. We gave the smoke a wide berth, angling north. The sun beat down, unseasonably hot for October, and we had no shade, no rest. My shoulder throbbed with every step. Ruiz's breathing had taken on a whistling quality that meant his lung was definitely collapsed. Marcus kept looking back over his shoulder, jumping at every sound. We were falling apart. Around 3 p.m., we found the farm. It was smaller than the first one, just a house and a shed, surrounded by a chain-link fence that had seen better days. The gate hung open. The house looked intact, windows unbroken, door closed. Could be occupied, Marcus said. Could be supplies, I countered. Could be infected. Only one way to find out. We approached carefully, watching the windows. No movement, no sound. I tried the door. Unlocked. The interior was dark, curtains drawn. I waited for my eyes to adjust, then moved inside. Living room, kitchen, hallway, everything neat, everything in place, like the occupants had just stepped out. Hello? I called. Anyone here? A sound from the back of the house. Shuffling, dragging. Shit, Marcus whispered. The infected came around the corner slowly, so slowly I almost didn't recognize it as a threat. It had been an old man once, maybe 70, wearing pajamas and slippers. Half its face was gone, torn away by teeth or decay, exposing bone and muscle. Its remaining eye fixed on us with terrible focus. It lunged. I swung the hammer without thinking, catching it in the temple. The skull caved with a wet crunch, and the infected dropped. It didn't get back up. Jesus, Marcus said, you killed it. It was already dead. You know what I mean. I did. I just killed something that looked human, that had been human. The fact that it was infected, that it would have killed us didn't make it feel any better. We searched the rest of the house. 2 more infected in the bedroom, both elderly, both moving with the slow confusion of the recently turned. I killed them with the hammer. It got easier each time. That scared me more than anything else. The house had supplies: food, water, batteries, a first aid kit. We loaded everything into backpacks we found in a closet. Marcus found a hunting rifle in a gun safe, along with a box of ammunition. 20 rounds. Not much, but better than nothing. "We should stay here," Marcus said. "It's defensible. It's got supplies." "It's too close to Millbrook," I said. "When that fire burns out, the infected will spread. They'll find this place." So we keep moving. For how long? Until we drop? Until we find somewhere safe. There is nowhere safe. His voice echoed in the small house. Outside in the distance, something moaned in response. "Keep your voice down," Ruiz said. He was sitting on the couch, one hand pressed to his ribs. His lips were blue. "We need to move. Now." We moved. When they were empty, cutting through fields when they weren't. We saw infected everywhere, in houses, in cars, wandering through towns that had become graveyards. We saw no other survivors. Ruiz got worse. His breathing became labored, his skin pale and clammy. He coughed constantly, bringing up blood and fluid. Pneumothorax had progressed to hemothorax, blood filling his chest cavity, drowning him from the inside. "I need to rest," he said on the 4th day. We were in a barn, hiding from a group of infected that had passed too close. "Just for a minute." "We can't stop," Marcus said. "They're still out there." "I can't," Ruiz coughed, a wet, rattling sound. "I can't keep going." I knelt beside him, checking his pulse. Thready. Weak. His lips were nearly purple now. "How long?" he asked quietly. "I don't know. Hours, maybe. Maybe less." "Can you fix it?" "Not without a hospital. Not without equipment." He nodded slowly. "Figured. Do me a favor." "What?" "Don't let me turn into one of those things. When I die, make sure I stay dead." "Ruiz -- promise me." I looked at Marcus. He looked away. "I promise," I said. Ruiz died an hour later. It was quiet, peaceful even. He just stopped breathing, stopped moving, stopped being. I waited 10 minutes to make sure, then raised the hammer. "Wait," Marcus said. "What if he doesn't turn? What if not everyone turns?" The radio said it was transmitted through bites, through bodily fluids. He wasn't bitten. He was coughing blood. If the pathogen is airborne, if it's in the blood, you don't know that. I can't risk it. I brought the hammer down. Ruiz's skull cracked. Blood and brain matter spread across the barn floor. Marcus vomited in the corner. We buried Ruiz in a shallow grave behind the barn, using our hands because we had no shovel. It took an hour. When we were done, my hands were bleeding, my shoulder was screaming, and I felt nothing. No grief, no guilt, no emotion at all. Just emptiness. "We should say something," Marcus said. "Like what?" "I don't know. A prayer?" I don't remember any prayers. We stood there in silence for a moment, then walked away. There was nothing else to do. On the 6th day, we found the school. It was a small, rural elementary school, single-story, surrounded by a playground with rusted swings and a cracked basketball court. The windows were barricaded from inside with desks and filing cabinets. The doors were chained shut. "Someone's in there," Marcus whispered. "Someone alive." We approached carefully. I knocked on the front door, 3 sharp raps. "Hello? We're not infected. We need help." Silence. I knocked again. "Please, we're not going to hurt you. We just need..." A voice from inside, muffled. "Go away." "We can't. We have nowhere else to go." "Not my problem." "Please, we haven't eaten in 2 days. We just need..." I said go away. A gunshot. The bullet punched through the door 6 inches from my head. We ran. On the 8th day, Marcus started showing symptoms. It started with a cough. Just a small one, barely noticeable. But I noticed. I'd been listening for it, dreading it, knowing it was only a matter of time. "It's nothing," Marcus said when he saw my expression. "Just dry throat." "Let me see your arms." "Why?" "Just let me see." He rolled up his sleeves. No bites, no scratches, nothing. "See? I'm fine." But the cough got worse. By evening, he was coughing every few minutes. By midnight, he was coughing blood. "It's not possible," he said. "I wasn't bitten. I wasn't scratched. How is this possible?" "I don't know." "You're a paramedic. You're supposed to know." "I don't know!" We were in an abandoned gas station, hiding in the back office. Outside, infected wandered through the parking lot, drawn by our voices. We'd have to move soon. But Marcus couldn't move, could barely stand. "It's airborne," he said quietly. "Isn't it? The pathogen. It's in the air." "Maybe. That's why Ruiz got sick. That's why I'm sick. That's why everyone's sick." "You don't know that." "Then why aren't you sick?" I didn't have an answer. Maybe I was immune. Maybe I'd been exposed to something that gave me resistance. Maybe I was just lucky. Or maybe I was infected too, and just didn't know it yet. "You need to leave," Marcus said, "before I turn." "I'm not leaving you." "Yes, you are. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill you. Not on purpose. But when I turn, when I become one of those things, I'm going to tear you apart. And I don't want that. I don't want my last act as a human being to be murder." Marcus --. "Go." "I can't. You left the guard. You left the kid. You left Ruiz. You can leave me." "That's different." "How?" "Because..." I stopped. "Because why?" "Because I liked Marcus. Because I felt guilty. Because leaving him would mean admitting that I couldn't save anyone. That I'd never been able to save anyone. That every person I'd ever tried to help had died anyway. "Go," Marcus said again. "Please." I went. I made it 50 feet before I heard the gunshot. Marcus had kept the rifle, had saved 1 bullet, had made the choice I couldn't make. I kept walking. On the 10th day, I found the compound. It was hidden in the mountains, accessible only by a narrow dirt road that wound through pine forests. High chain-link fence topped with barbed wire. Guard towers at each corner. Lights, Actual electric lights, which meant generators, which meant organization. I approached slowly, hands raised, making myself visible. "Don't shoot," I called. "I'm not infected. I'm alone. I just need..." A voice from the guard tower, amplified by a megaphone. "Stop where you are. Don't come any closer." I stopped. "Are you bitten?" "No." "Are you sick?" "No." "Strip." "What?" "Take off your clothes, all of them. We need to see if you're bitten." I stripped, standing naked in the October cold, while someone in the guard tower examined me through binoculars. After a long moment, the voice came again. "You can get dressed. Wait there." I dressed, waited. After 10 minutes, the gate opened. 2 people emerged, both wearing hazmat suits, both carrying rifles. "Come with us," one of them said, voice muffled by the suit. Slowly. "Keep your hands where we can see them." They led me through the gate into the compound. Inside, I saw buildings, barracks maybe, or dormitories, a cafeteria, a medical facility, and people, maybe 50 of them, all wearing the same gray jumpsuits, all moving with the purposeful efficiency of a military operation. "What is this place?" I asked. "Quarantine facility," the guard said. "Government run. We're taking in survivors, screening them, keeping them safe." Safe. The word sounded foreign, like a language I'd forgotten. They took me to the medical facility, where a doctor examined me. Blood test, throat swab, full physical. He was thorough, professional, and completely silent. "Am I infected?" I asked when he was done. "We'll know in 24 hours. Until then, you're in isolation." They put me in a small room with a cot, a toilet, and a locked door. I lay down and slept for the first time in days. I woke to screaming. It was dark. The lights in the compound had gone out. I went to the door, tried the handle, still locked. "Hello?" I called. "What's happening?" More screaming, gunshots, the sound of something heavy hitting the ground. I pounded on the door. "Let me out!" No response. The screaming got closer. I heard running footsteps in the hallway outside, heard someone shouting orders, heard more gunshots. Then silence. I waited. Minutes passed. Hours. The silence stretched, broken only by occasional sounds I couldn't identify. Dragging, moaning, the wet sound of tearing flesh. Dawn came. Gray light filtered through the small window in my door. I looked out. The hallway was full of bodies, some in hazmat suits, some in gray jumpsuits. All of them torn apart, blood and viscera painting the walls. And moving among them, feeding, were the infected. The compound had fallen. I was trapped in a locked room in a facility full of the dead, and no one was coming to let me out. I spent 3 days in that room. The infected knew I was there. They pressed against the door, moaning, scratching, trying to get in. But the door was solid steel, designed to contain quarantine patients. It held. I had no food, no water. The toilet still worked, but I had nothing to put in it. I lay on the cot and listened to the infected and thought about dying. It would be easy. Stop drinking, stop eating, just lie here until dehydration or starvation took me. Peaceful, quiet. No more running, no more failing, no more watching people die. I thought about Michael, about Emma, about all the people I hadn't saved, about the people I'd left behind. On the third day, the moaning stopped. I went to the door, looked out. The hallway was empty. The bodies were still there, but the infected were gone. Moved on to find food elsewhere. I tried the door handle, still locked. I looked around the room for something to use, some way to break out. Nothing, just a cot, a toilet, bare walls. I sat down and waited to die. On the fourth day, I heard a voice. "Hello? Is anyone alive in there?" I scrambled to the door. Yes, I'm here." "Stand back. I'm going to unlock the door." The lock clicked. The door swung open. A woman stood in the hallway wearing a hazmat suit, holding a rifle. "Are you bitten?" she asked. "No." "Are you sick?" "No." "Can you walk?" "Yes." "Then come with me. We're evacuating." I followed her through the compound. We passed bodies, blood, destruction. The place had been overrun completely. Whatever organization had existed here was gone. "What happened?" I asked. "Breach in the fence. They got in during the night. Killed most of us before we knew what was happening." She led me to a truck idling near the gate. "Get in." I got in. There were 3 other people in the truck, all wearing hazmat suits, all armed. No one spoke. We drove for hours, heading north into the mountains. The roads were empty. The towns we passed were burning or burned. The world had ended completely now. No pockets of civilization left. Just scattered survivors fleeing through the ruins. We stopped at a checkpoint. Another fence, another guard tower, another compound. Smaller than the last one. More desperate. "This is the last facility," the woman said. "Last place the government is operating. If this falls, there's nowhere else to go." They processed me again. Blood test, examination, isolation, 24 hours. I lay on another cot in another locked room and waited. The facility fell on the second day. I heard it happen. Heard the alarms, the gunfire, the screaming. Heard it all happen again, exactly like before. This time, no one came to let me out. I sat in the locked room and listened to the infected tear through the facility. Listened to people die. Listened to the world end for the final time. When the sounds faded, when the silence returned, I tried the door. Still locked. I had no food, no water, no hope. I lay down on the cot and closed my eyes. I don't know how long I've been here. Days, weeks. Time has stopped meaning anything. I'm so thirsty. My lips are cracked and bleeding. My tongue is swollen. I can barely think. Sometimes I hear them outside, the infected, still wandering, still searching, still hungry. Sometimes I think about Michael, about the choice I made, about whether I'd make a different choice now. I wouldn't. I'd still save the girl. I'd still leave the boy. Because that's who I am. That's who I've always been. Someone who tries to save people and fails. Someone who makes the wrong choice every time. Someone who survives when everyone else dies. I can hear them now. Scratching at the door. Moaning. They know I'm here. They've always known. The door is starting to give way. The hinges are rusting. The lock is weakening. Soon they'll get in. Soon I'll become one of them. Soon I'll be the thing I've been running from all along. And maybe that's what I deserve. Maybe that's what I've always deserved. The door is opening. They're coming in. I can see their faces now. Gray, dead, hungry. I can see Michael's face among them. He's smiling. He's been waiting for me. I close my eyes. I don't open them again.